Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Learn with Virali. I'm Virali, your guide on this PMP adventure. If you are new to my channel, I'm Virali, a certified PMP professional helping people to pass their PMP exams on the very first try. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to subscribe as it helps me to create more such kind of videos and offer help to the community. In today's video, we are going to solve a number of questions from the people domain. So please make sure that you download the question PDF from the description below and try to solve it on your own with a timer by the side, making sure you don't end up spending more time on a few of the questions and try to solve all the questions present in the PDF. And then come back to this video again to check for your answers and explanations. Let's get started. At the first question, which is your agile team is co-located except one of the team members who is based at the client location. How should you conduct your daily stand-ups with this constraint? Please try to answer this question from PMI's perspective or putting your PMI hat on. Think what is to be done being a servant leader. Now, options here are do not use daily stand-ups and rely on formal written communication. Daily stand-ups are definitely going to be very essential because it's an agile project. So option A is definitely not the right option choice. Moving on to the option B, which is to use video conferencing technology to accommodate the remote team member. Okay, maybe considerable. Moving on to option C is to conduct the face-to-face daily stand-ups without remotely located team member. We need to conduct stand-ups, but we cannot omit any member who is not present for that stand-up perspective. So definitely a big no for option C. Coming to option D, which is since all the team members are not co-located, this is not an agile project, it is recommended reverting back to traditional project management approaches. This is an agile project, and because the members are not co-located doesn't mean you have to move to a traditional project. So this is definitely a big no over here. So the correct answer over here is going to be option number B for this particular question. Now on to question number 2, which says two of your team members are constantly arguing with each other about work assignments. Due to their attitude, the project is now delayed and the pressure is building up on the other team members. So what you should do as a project manager? The options are issue a memo, B is meet with them to understand their concerns, option C says replace the team members, and option D is inform the concerned functional manager. Now, according to PMI's perspective, you're not supposed to take an immediate action without listening to the actual conversation or the argument that is ongoing in between the team members. So, in that case, you're not supposed to issue a memo. So, option A is definitely incorrect. Option B is meet with the team members to understand their concerns, definitely as per the PMI's terms. So, we'll just pause on option B to consider it as a potential answer. And now moving on to option number C says replace the team members, definitely a big no. Without understanding their problem, you cannot replace them. And option number D is inform the concerned functional manager. Informing the concerned functional manager is typically not going to solve that particular problem. With you being a project manager and a servant leader, you have to remove blockers if there are in between the path for the team to reach towards that success line or the end goal. So definitely option D is not the right option choice. So option number B here would be marked again as the right answer based on the PMI's viewpoint. Now jump on to question number 3, which is in agile teams, a single person's throughput is not relevant. Focusing on single person's throughput may be risky because, and the options are, it may create a bottleneck for the rest of the team. Option B is increase the sprint duration. Option C is increase the chances of scope creep. And option D is increase the cost of the project. Now, if we try to understand that if we give an importance just to a single person in the team, it might be not a fair decision given from the PMI's viewpoint, saying that agile team always have a gathered perspective as a team rather than just focusing on an individual's thought process or an individual's perspective. So agile team is going to be a team that is going to work together dealing with team collaboration in comparison to individual person giving the inputs every time, and that is being considered. Next, single person is definitely gonna focus on creating dependencies, so that is definitely not a good option choice to proceed forward. Again, being this an agile project, collaboration is always gonna be a key aspect for the project to succeed. So if we are trying to focus on one single person's thought process or their inputs, it is going to create a bottleneck for the rest of the team to give here as the best possible answer with you being a project manager. So option A over here is identified as the right option choice. Coming to question number 4. Team members in successful agile teams collaborate in various ways. So which of the following is not a valid example of these ways? Options are multitasking, swarming, pairing, and mobbing. First of all, if you are in an agile team, you are supposed to meet with different cross-functional teams in order to get tasks done in a parallel way. So multitasking is something which you will be switching the task on, like I would rather put it up as context switching based on a given task, which is definitely going to reduce productivity. A good example here would be to perform your task while you are watching something on YouTube or listening something else on YouTube. So you are basically focusing on two different aspects at the same time, which will reduce your efficiency, and that's where multitasking is not a valid way of performing any kind of agile tasks. Though swarming, pairing, and mobbing are a kind of agile practice or are valid agile practices which focuses on one task at a time, which is definitely as per the agile principles. So given the question to identify which is the example given here as an options, which is not a valid example of agile practice, we would go with multitasking as an correct answer or the option choice over here. Let's now look at question number 5, which says you and your team are about to start a new project. In the past, the team has faced issues in estimating user stories and provided inaccurate estimates. All of the following actions can help mitigate this risk from happening on this project, except which of the following? Option A is to use agile modeling and spiking. Option B is to develop a team charter. Option C is to reduce the story size by splitting up the stories. And option D is to use relative estimation. So, in order for approaching these kind of questions, you first have to understand what is the problem mentioned over here. If we look at the question, we can understand that the issues that is being talked about in this particular question is in regards to estimating user stories and providing inaccurate estimates. So if I look at the options, I have something which helps me to do a relative estimation. Okay, valid point. Something that is help me to reduce the story size by splitting up stories. All right, a valid point for mitigating this risk. Or if I use agile modeling or spiking, definitely that's going to help me to mitigate this risk. But here, talking about the team charter, what is a team charter? Team charter is nothing but highlighting team's rules and regulations that the members of that particular team has to follow or stick to. So that has nothing to do with the given problem over here, and that's the reason this particular option choice is going to be the right answer over here, which is option number B. On to question number 6. In projects following the Scrum framework, who is responsible for ensuring the Scrum process is upheld and works to ensure the Scrum team adheres to the practices and rules? Options are product owner, business analyst, Scrum master, and the development team. Alright, so if we are following a Scrum framework, that means we are onto an agile project. For the person who is responsible for upholding the Scrum framework is definitely gonna be a Scrum Master, as the Scrum Master is responsible for facilitating the Scrum events. The Scrum Master is gonna ensure everything is on track. The Scrum Master would be a person who would like kind of help you on with any impediments that are on the project, or the blockers that are there on the project will be solved by the Scrum Master. So the correct answer over here is going to be Scrum Master in this regards. Coming to question number 7. For the first few days, the stand-ups were flowing smoothly until today when a number of issues have been reported by the team. So what should be done next? Please understand what have been asked in the question, that what are you supposed to do now since there are a lot of issues that are being reported in the Scrum meeting. Options are resolve the issues and park them so that everyone can see them. Option B is park the issues and create another meeting to solve them. Option C is ask the team members to follow the change control process. And option D is tell the team members that they can't report issues during the daily stand-ups. If we are onto an agile project, it is something that will be discussed in the stand-ups or the daily Scrum meetings that happen for around 15 minutes every day, discussing everybody's progress and if there are any blockers that are kind of making the project completion a little bit delayed. So in this question, we are supposed to kind of park the issues because that's where the daily stand-ups would be kept brief and focused. Second, issues need to be dealt with in proper time, allowing a room for discussion. So if you continue solving issues in the current daily stand-up meeting, the meeting might be stretched for a bit longer. So that's not the actual agile case from PMI's perspective. So in that case, you have to park this issue, whatever issues that have been reported, and create another meeting for solving all those issues up. So the correct answer over here is gonna be option number B. Moving on to question number 8. Your project team is geographically distributed and rely on virtual spaces. You are considering a number of collaboration tools to boost the team's throughput. Which of the following is one such tool you may consider? Now, look for the options which is a collaboration tool. Option A says fishbone diagram. Option B is fishbowl window. Option C is house of quality. And option D is discount window. Now, if you notice, there is only one which is a tool and the rest aren't actually the collaboration tools. If I talk about fishbone diagram gives you the reasons and their solutions given in the fish shape format, like the root causes and their solutions being highlighted in the fish shape structure. So fishbone diagram definitely is not a collaboration tool. And similar case is with house of quality and discount window. So fishbowl window would be marked as the correct answer or the option choice here, which is definitely a collaboration tool specifically meant for a distributed team. You have to note certain keywords over here to land towards the correct answer. Here you have to make sure that the team is geographically distributed. That means people are working remotely. So you have to get something which will help everybody collaborate together, though they are located at different locations. So that's why the correct answer over here is fishbowl window. Coming to question number 9. In Agile project, team is currently struggling with meeting customers' expectations regarding rapid feature delivery while maintaining required quality standards. Upon further analysis, it was revealed that the throughput of the testers was significantly less than the throughput of the developers. So in this scenario, which of the following cannot help to resolve this situation? Please be mindful of this particular keyword, cannot. Let's now look at the option. Optimizing the batch size, increasing the number of testers, increasing the number of developers, and optimizing processes. So here we have to understand that what is going to not help us for solving the issue. The issue is they are not able to meet customers' expectation, as the throughput of developers is more in comparison to throughput of the testers. So definitely adding more developers would worsen the bottleneck, wherein the current problem over here is with the testers. Testers are not equally contributing in comparison to the developers. So testing is a constraint, so adding more developers is not going to solve the problem. Other given options like optimizing processes or optimizing the batch size is definitely going to help balance the workflow. But here the focus is going to be on the constraint which is coming from the testers side. So if I add more developers, it is still going to create the bottleneck more, and that's where the correct answer or the option choice over here is increasing the number of developers. Coming to question number 10, you are leading an enterprise process mapping project. Your team consists of processes, including process analysts and modelers. Process analysts are responsible for gathering process knowledge from organizational subject matter experts and passing it on to the modelers to map the process. Halfway during the first iteration, you notice that work is getting accumulated in work in process, and few of these items are being moved to completed based on your Kanban board. Now, upon a detailed inspection, you found out that the analyst's throughput is greater than the modeler's throughput, and as a result, fewer processes get drafted than what gets started. So what should you do first? Ask the analyst to help modelers complete the process, hire more analysts, hire more modelers, or remove some analyst from the team to create a balance. Here we have been asked to land the next immediate solution, being this problem, making it as our first priority. So what should you do first is something whether understanding it as a high priority issue, so you have to kind of address all your resources or give me the best immediate possible solution for this particular problem. So the actual answer over here with the given problem making me understand that I have to immediately give a solution in order for balancing the workflow, so that I understand that the resources that I currently have, I'm using those resources very effectively, whether it is in regards to process analysts or modelers. I'm not making or creating more bottlenecks. Instead, I'm clearing the bottlenecks that are currently in the process, and I'm making sure that I promote team collaboration, as I am somebody acting as a project manager or an agile project manager for this particular project. So the correct answer over here is going to be ask the analyst to help modelers complete the process, as this is going to ensure that the actual problem is being solved when the team is collaborating, analysts are helping modelers to complete the process, and clearing the bottleneck that is being created wherein analysts keep on delivering but modelers are not able to complete that entire process.